Well, I guess the old saying's true, right, Will Smith? You can take the boy out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the boy. Am I right? Am I right? Now, for those of you who missed it, the Oscars were Sunday night, the 94th Oscars. And the big moment of the night came when Chris Rock told this joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. And it's no secret that the Smiths have an open marriage. Chris Rock said that, and he's been making these jabs against the Smiths since 2016. He said that he couldn't wait for the next G.I. Jane film to come out, G.I. Jane 2, starring Jada Pinkett Smith, because she shaves her head. But he didn't know when he said the joke that she suffers from alopecia, which is why she shaves her head. Well, Will Smith had had enough of this. So Will Smith proceeds to go on stage, smack Chris Rock in the face. He walks back to his seat. This is all on live TV. And he tells on live TV, now this was censored. There's two versions of this, the censored and uncensored version of it. But he told Chris Rock on live TV, biggest night in Hollywood, at the Oscars, keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. When he said that, there was this ooh from the crowd. They were stunned. Excuse me, but aren't the Oscars supposed to be a night of class and a certain decorum? You're there to celebrate the achievements of people in the film industry. No, you do not go on stage and smack somebody upside the head during an awards ceremony. That's just something that you don't do. So the Oscars went ghetto. Now I'm going to go over some of the good stuff with the Oscars, but the Oscars went ghetto fabulous. It's time for people like Will Smith. If you're going to get up on stage and smack somebody in the head because they say a joke, this guy wouldn't last 2 minutes with Don Rickles. But if you're going to be like that, you should go back to the hood. Go back to the 90s, Will Smith. I used to have a lot of respect for Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was a decent rapper back in the 90s. One of the big rappers in the 90s. The clean rapper. But it's time for Will Smith to go back to the 90s. If you're going to go on stage, as I said, and smack somebody upside the head because you don't like a joke they said about your wife. It was supposed to be in good fun. And even Chris Rock said that. So that was the big moment of the night. And props to Chris Rock for keeping his cool. He showed total class. And I'm not a fan of Chris Rock, but he showed total class throughout the whole incident. And afterwards, Will Smith is seen partying up, getting jiggy with it. And later he said, there are going to be consequences for Chris Rock. Okay, Will Smith. And the other moment, this was so sad. Did you see this? At the tail end, they literally wheel out Liza Minnelli, who is near death at this point, to present Film of the Year. If that is not symbolic about the state of Hollywood right now, I don't know what is. And they had Lady Gaga standing next to her, helping her say her lines because she couldn't remember her lines. Liza could not get out 2 or 3 words, let alone a sentence. And there were no male hosts at the Oscars this year. Male presenters, but no male hosts. You had Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes. Hey, Wanda, whatever happened to you? Seems like she fell off the edge of the earth. And I take it that having a male minority host would be seen as sexist? Because I can guarantee you the next LGBTQ category that's going to be added to the LGBTQ alphabet will be gender sensitive. So you can't say that Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes were hostesses of the Oscars. You got to say host. Got to be gender neutral. So we have transgender, gender fluid. I made a joke we should add trans black, and now we're going to have gender sensitive. Guaranteed. And there was a few tributes to the Ukraine on the red carpet with Jamie Lee Curtis and company. She was wearing a ribbon. They feel so good when they wear ribbons, right? And you had Mila Kunis and Reba McEntire. Now, for whatever reason, I want to call Reba McEntire Rebecca McEntire. I wonder if that's her real name in real life. She seems like a Rebecca to me. So the movie of the year was Coda. Even though people were rooting for Power the Dog. And you had Billie Eilish and Phineas performing No Time to Die from the James Bond film. And there are 3 major anniversaries this year in Hollywood, film anniversaries. You have the 50th anniversary of The Godfather, which I always felt the first film was the best. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me in the comment section below. You have the 60th anniversary of James Bond, which started with Dr. No, and the 50th anniversary of Cabaret. Liza Minnelli couldn't remember what film she was in back in 1972. All she knew was that she was in a film. I guess life isn't a cabaret. So Dune won for film editing. Hans Zimmer won for Best Original Score. Kenneth Branagh lands one for Best Original Screenplay for Belfast. And here's one for you. They had this rap section with the song We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto, performed by, this is really original, Megan Thee Stallion. I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm sorry, but when it comes to album covers, titles of songs, jazz artists and classic artists, even some rock artists, have it down. Seems to me like people in the hip-hop community, these rappers, try to be cool, try to imitate everybody else because that's what they're supposed to do. How about being original for a change? Here's an idea. How about adding an orchestra or a jazz group to your rap? How about that? Instead about the hood in your rap, why don't you talk about, can I get the words out today? Instead of talking about the hood and getting high in your rap, talk about achieving the best you can, being all that you can be, being a positive role model. That's what you should do when you're a rapper. Follow Will Smith's lead. I mean, he always seemed like a clean-cut rapper to me back in the day. But he needs to go back to the 90s. Go back to the 90s, Will Smith. Can you believe that? He gets up on stage and he knocks somebody in the head on the biggest night in Hollywood. That's something you just don't do. Sian Heder wins for Best Adapted Screenplay for Coda. Drive My Car from Japan won Best International Film. Mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis and Company. They're a tribute to the Ukraine by wearing the ribbons. But I still have my notes here. That was pretty much it. That was the Oscars. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at hashtag Jason Composes, leave comments below. Now you can reach me at Twitter, Cultural Confederacy at Twitter. But man, oh man, it goes downhill every year for Hollywood. Every year the ratings go down, the viewership goes down. And I think it's going to hit these people pretty soon, if it hasn't already. The days of having to pay for a ticket at a theater, buy concessions, and drink flat soda are over. People want to watch films at home. They want to stream them whenever they can. Now, I know you have these Hulu movie categories at the Oscars, so things are changing that way. But the days of going to the theater, buying a ticket, having to pay for concessions and flat soda, they are done. They are over. It's time to get with the times, Hollywood. And these people talk about inclusion and fairness and equality. And of course, what would be a Hollywood extravaganza, if you will, the Oscars, without a speech about LGBTQ rights and minorities in film? So that was the other thing. They had this tribute to, let me see who the people were, Samuel L. Jackson, Elaine May, Liv Ullmann, and Danny Glover. Well, here's an idea. Why not give everybody an award at the Oscars? Or better yet, don't have the Oscars at all. I understand it's tradition. But seriously, if you're about equality, inclusion, fairness, then give everybody an award or don't have the Oscars at all. So thank you for being with me, Culture Confederacy, saying peace out, stay safe, everybody. Another one-take video, how it turns out is how it turns out, and I will catch you next time.